Hey there everybody, Razmere here, and guess what? It's time for the review of the motion picture Watchmen. Now, let's get this out of the way. Yes, I read the book before I saw the movie, so calm down. Wow. I gotta say, this movie was a giant steaming pile of bubbling, concentrated awesomeness. Perhaps, dare I say, the greatest superhero movie of all time. Way better than Dark Knight. Of course, that's not saying much. Dark Knight sucked. Even compared to other really good superhero movies like Spider-Man or Iron Man or The Incredible Hulk, Watchmen actually makes you think about society and how it would work if superheroes were real. And it also gets you emotionally attached to the characters, no matter who you are. There's someone there for you to relate to. Costume crime fighters became real and actually existed in this world, and it's 1985 and they've recently been outlawed. However, some of these superheroes come out of retirement when they notice that one of their own has been murdered. And upon investigating this murder, they realize it's connected to a grand, more elaborate plot. You got your characters, Rorschach, who investigates the murder and finds out that one of his old crime-fighting partners, the comedian, was the guy who got murdered. Now, Rorschach, he's kind of crazy, speaks in sentence fragments, hates the world, feels that the city is full of evil. Evil must be punished. Never give up, never despair, never surrender, never compromise, even in face of Armageddon. And Dr. Manhattan, oh boy, standing next to all these realistic and believable superheroes with realistic and believable origins and no real superpowers. What's Dr. Manhattan? He's a scientist who accidentally got locked in a giant microwave thing, got zapped, everybody thought he was dead, but then he comes back as a big blue electromagnetic genie god guy with no real attachment to humanity. He can zap people with gamma rays or something. He can also teleport like it's no big deal. He can also make copies of himself. What's up? And that's not all, folks. He can slice, dice, and see into the future. But doesn't do anything about it. In 15 seconds, you're going to tell me Aunt Petunia died. Well, if you know I'm gonna tell you, then why should I tell you? Oh, okay, whatever. Aunt Petunia died. What? Aunt Petunia died? So yeah, no secret that I don't like Dr. Manhattan, but here's the beauty of it. This movie actually makes me enjoy the character, which I thought was an impossible feat that not even the great doctor could achieve. The way that this movie is filmed and the way the characters are portrayed, you really do connect with them. You really do relate to them. And compared to the book, some things are cut out, this is what happens when you make a movie. You got a time limit. It's 3 hours long, and I'm grateful that the stuff that's still there is still there. The few tidbits that are changed, altered, or cut out, are gone, but it's nothing to cry foul over. The ending, though, has been changed drastically, and I personally think it's for the better. The world will look up and shout, "Do they still have the giant squid monster?" And I shall whisper, "No, the squid's stupid. This ending's better." Also, it tackles the relationships each of the characters have better than it did in the book. In fact, you know what? I'm gonna come out and say it. Watchmen the movie is better than the novel. Novel. I said it. Not taking it back. The novel's still good. It's a great read, but the movie, it's just better. I said it. Bring it on, fanboys. Alright, I'll talk about some of the negatives of the movie. The minor characters, they're not the best of actors, but it really doesn't take away that much from the film because all the main actors, like Rorschach, Night Owl, and yes, even Dr. Manhattan, are all played very well, and it totally picks up any slack left by some minor characters kind of befuddling, muddling, or just not enunciating their lines properly. Some people might complain that the director Zack Snyder likes to use slow motion in his action scenes. But you know what? I like slow motion. I love being able to see every glorious detail of a punch, of a kick, of a laser blast. Is it overused? Well, maybe. I didn't think so. I thought it worked for when it was used. But some people complained about that. I guess some critics prefer seeing everything close up, moving really fast so you can't tell what's going on, and just kind of guessing what happened. Whatever. Another great thing about this movie, the soundtrack. They pick songs from the 70s and 80s to fit the time period of which the movie is set, to really set in the mood of the scene. This is a solid superhero flick, a great film that improves upon an already decent book. So I'm giving this my highest award, the Own It Award, which is after you see it on the big screen, which is awesome by the way, you wait a while, and then you pick up the super rare collector's edition DVD with all the deleted scenes edited back in, and it's totally awesome and worth every penny. You buy it, and you keep it forever. I'm telling you, gonna be worth it. Watchmen is rated R for sex, drugs, rock and roll, a nice helping of blood and gore, and it runs at about 3 hours. I'm warning you parents, do not take your kids to see this one. This is Razmere, hoping you enjoy Watchmen as much as I did. Later.